Hey guys, Bobby here. Let's do, I'm gonna be doing a very quick, well, not very quick, like a 15-minute, horror movie recommendation, because obviously tomorrow is Halloween. And what's Halloween without some candy, pizza, and, horror movies? So I'm going to start with my Halloween costume. I am going to be Link from Legend of Zelda. Got my sword already. There we go, complete sheath and belt. And a custom, I made this, shield modeled after the shield Link uses in Zelda 1 and 2. So let's start with the first little group of movies I'm going to be suggesting over here. These are no-brainers, I call them. So let's just dive right in. Obviously, you have to watch John Carpenter's Halloween. The original Halloween. This is synonymous with the holiday itself. It's very atmospheric. The music is great. The acting could be a little bit better, but this is late 70s low budget fare. Just great little horror movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a 1974 film directed by Tobe Hooper. This is basically the granddaddy of slasher films. Not exactly a slasher film, but it does set up a lot of the archetypes that films like Halloween or Friday the 13th will later use. Five kids. Their van runs out of gas. So they go to a farmhouse, try to get some, help. Turns out the family that owns that house is actually a group of cannibals, and one of them is the infamous Leatherface. Well, famous Leatherface, I actually really say. We'll go with Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street is a 1984 film directed by Wes Craven, I believe. Everyone knows Freddy Krueger. He's that burned guy with a stupid-ass sweater, the fedora, and, pointy-ass glove. Basic synopsis, Freddy Krueger kills kids on their dreams. More specifically, the Elm Street kids. They're really, I don't want to give too much away if you haven't seen it, but, let's move on. Friday the 13th, you're always bound to watch a Friday the 13th film around Halloween. I think last night and today, AMC just spent, all of prime time airing all the Friday the 13th films. I think from their first film all the way up to Jason X. But I will suggest you watch Part 2. Part 2 is my second favorite. I want to suggest Part 6. However, I do think that Part 2 works more, a little better. Part 6 is more, kind of a little more fun. This is the one where Jason is introduced, and in this one he's wearing a burlap sack, which I think is a lot more scarier than the hockey mask he would adopt in the third film. The final girl's really sweet. I love the final girl. The nudity is pretty great. Don't call me a perp because I said that. If you're watching one of these 80s slasher films, you're bound to watch some nudity. So you may as well, watch out for some nice looking girls. The kills are really cool. The effects aren't as great as the first film, but the kills are still pretty memorable. Well, The Exorcist. The Exorcist, I think, was directed in 1970. I want to say 3. I'm not too sure though. I could be wrong. This could be the late 70s. I have no idea. This film is about a little girl who is possessed by Satan, and this struggles that some church officials have to deal with. Very, very creepy. I find that this is one you should watch by yourself. It's a lot more effective that way. I still get kind of disturbed by that film. The original Evil Dead. People often think of Ash, the guy with the chainsaw hand, seen here on the cover of Army of Darkness, when they think of Evil Dead. However, the first film is a straight up horror film. It is atmospheric. It is pretty scary, I guess you can say. However, if you're out to buy this movie, I suggest you get the Blu-ray version, and more specifically, the special edition Blu-ray version. Sadly, I did not know that version existed prior to buying this, so you know. Oh well, I'll find another copy later. And my last little no-brainer here in my little pile is Trick or Treat, the 2009 direct-to-video anthology horror film. This is an anthology film in the same vein as like the EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt comic books. Basically, they follow basic traditions of Halloween. And they all intertwine thanks to, little kid on the cover. His name is Sam. Very, very cool Halloween mascot. This is a no-brainer. I think FearNet is having an all-day marathon tomorrow of that film, similar to what, like TBS and TNT do with A Christmas Story on Christmas Day. So let's go with some other suggestions. We may as well finish out the Evil Dead series with Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2 is equal parts slapstick black comedy and kind of a scary movie. This is one of my all-time favorite films. And Ash did such a badass in this movie, very, very funny. And Army of Darkness, this is more of one of those, one of these movies you put on after your DiGiorno pizza's finished cooking, and you have some friends around your house. Very, very fun to watch. Don't take it too seriously though, especially after viewing the original Evil Dead. Let's see. If you want to get a little more classic, I suggest you watch 1931's Dracula. If you have the DVD, then I suggest you actually watch the Spanish version, or the original one. It all comes down to preferences. The original version has the fantastic Bela Lugosi, and I cannot remember his name. But the man who plays Renfield and the American version is so goddamn good. He's so great in that movie. However, the Spanish version, the acting isn't as good. Still pretty good, for what it is. However, the direction and the editing is just far more superior. I think they have Bride of Frankenstein on Netflix. I can't say for sure. I don't have that movie, sadly, but I do suggest that one if you have, if you have a means of tracking that one down. Okay, so let's do a couple more just standalone ones. We'll go with Wreck. Wreck is what year was this? Give me a second. I think it was 2009 as well. Spanish film. It's a mockumentary. It follows a film crew. He was documenting, the life of a couple of firefighters. They end up getting themselves mixed up with some pretty crazy stuff in an apartment complex. Really, really scary. For whatever reason, this one scares me, but Quarantine doesn't. Quarantine is the American remake, which is literally just a shot-by-shot remake, similar to that god-awful Psycho remake from the late 90s. I don't know why, but I find this one scares me more. I don't know. If you want to go for, something, a little abnormal, then I suggest you watch The Monster Squad. Monster Squad is one of my favorite movies. Well, nostalgic movies anyways. This is about a group of kids who have to deal with Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, a mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and a werewolf. It is just a major send-up to the black and white, Universal films, and it's just one of the more funner movies, more fun, I guess you can say, movies to watch around this time. Really, really great. The Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead is in the same camp as Army of Darkness. You put this one on when you have, a pizza and some friends. A lot of fun. Kind of terrifying too, actually. I explain why this one's a little terrifying in my, best horror movies video. So go to that video if you're a little more interested in this one. Okay, if you have the time, then I highly suggest you watch the Phantasm movies. All 4 of them. You got Phantasm 1, Phantasm 2, Phantasm 3, and Phantasm 4. Phantasm follows, just these people who are trying to take down an alien being known as the Tall Man from turning the world into his own, well, from basically taking over the world, I guess. Really, really great series. This, however, I will warn you that the first movie is one you really have to watch multiple times to truly appreciate. And, but once you do understand the first movie a little bit more, the sequels are easier to get into. This is just for shits and giggles. Let's be honest. The Puppet Master movies. Oh my god, Puppet Master is just they're bad. However, they do fall in that they're so bad that they're actually pretty fun to watch. You know, little camp movies like, you know, Troll 2. I have all 8 films on 2 DVDs that I haven't even opened yet. However, if I do, you know, feel like watching a very campy horror movie, I will pull these out. These are only $2.50 at Kmart. Just pick them up. Might as well, you know. That's like fucking $5 for 6 movies. You'll have some fun with them. I guarantee it. However, my final suggestion. We have to go with George Romero's Dead Trilogy. This is basically the horror equivalent to Leone's Dollar Trilogy. They are just so goddamn good. The first movie is what introduces the now famous flesh-eating zombies. It is a very, very good black and white horror movie. It's not very slow-paced, like a lot of black and white horror movies are. You know, that's one major complaint, you know, I get from people when I suggest black and white horror to them. It's pretty terrifying for what it is. The effects are kind of hammy. The acting is not as good as the next 2 films. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is my all-time favorite movie. I fucking love Dawn of the Dead. There is not enough good things to say about Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is about 4 people who decide to hole up in a shopping mall after a zombie apocalypse hits. It's just so much fun. The acting is great. The script is great. Just watch it. Just fucking watch it. If you have no other movies to watch tomorrow, just watch Dawn of the Dead. Over a close second besides Dawn of the Dead and my no-brainers, Day of the Dead. It got kind of slammed when it was originally released in, I think, 1986. I wasn't around, obviously, but however, I do know its legacy. I don't know why. Day of the Dead, in many ways, is the superior Dead film. It follows a military group who decided to hole up in an underground military compound. And a lot of the movie is basically one of those claustrophobic, I'm so goddamn sick of these people movies. And it works really well because of this. Although it is my second favorite in the Dead Trilogy, this is one of the better zombie films you can watch. If you enjoy the human side of things like The Walking Dead or like 28 Days Later, then I highly suggest Day of the Dead. So yeah, those are my Halloween horror movie suggestions. If you have any, put them in the comment section. Yeah, so have a very fun, very safe Halloween tomorrow. I hope those who are going trick-or-treating get a shit ton of candy, and for those of you who just want to stay home and watch movies and eat candy while little kids come to your doorstep, I hope you have fun doing that as well. So yeah, rate, subscribe, comment. I'll just let you guys go. See ya.